Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me. We are going to go behind the scenes with Tennessa McLean today. We are waiting a few minutes while we catch a few viewers. We originally were supposed to do this on Tuesday. However, we had some technical difficulties trying to figure out Facebook Live, and so we are giving it a try again here today. So thanks for joining us. I am waiting for her to get signed on here and bring her in. So hang tight, you guys. I'm super excited. She has a lot of fun things to show us about lampwork beads. A lot of times, we hear about lampwork beads, but not quite sure what that means. We know it's fire, we know it's torches, glass, but it's a really labor-intensive process and not super easy. So here we've got Tennessa here. I'm going to bring her live. Hi, Tennessa. Can you hear me? Hi, Tennessa.
See you.
Hey, see me? Hi.
Hi. Yep.
Welcome. Thanks for joining me this afternoon.
Thank you. I'm glad we made it
Yes,
work.
we've learned a lot about Facebook Live, right? Yes,
Yes.
yes. Well, getting you a little bit more exposure, I've been really lucky to know you for quite a few years, going to Tucson, having a booth across from you, and now I'm really excited to bring you into the shop. So for our viewers, if you guys are in the local area near Stars Beads, of course, we have all of her beads in our shop right now. That's kind of our highlighted trunk show for the month. And so because she can't personally show us all of her things, I thought doing a interview online and kind of seeing her Lampwork studio and where her magic happens and seeing how it all happens, it'd be nice to do an interview with her here online. So, so Tanessa, how did you get into making lampwork beads?
Well, about almost 20 years ago now, my mom had started making beads and she tried to get me to try it for several years. And once I finally did, I was immediately hooked. I was 7 months pregnant, looking for something to do, from home. And so everything kind of fell into place.
Oh, that's awesome. So just a dabbler and
Yeah.
then it just took over.
Yes.
That
Yes.
tends to be.
I was fortunate enough I was able to make it a business right away, and so it's really worked out surprisingly well.
Well, I know that all of the people who have gotten a chance to see your beads at our shop are just amazed. Oftentimes I know when we're thinking of
Oh,
lamp
thank
work, we're
you.
thinking bright colors and a lot of floral designs, but
Yeah.
yours have a lot of great earthy tones, subdued colors, but still lots of color. With it. So it was a kind of a nice mix of stuff. We certainly
Oh,
had a
good.
lot more glass than I had anticipated to fall out of those couple boxes that you had sent me. So but the display looks great. But yeah, so I think Tanessa, you are able to maybe take us in your special place where all the magic happens. Kind of tell us about the
Yes.
process, why. I mean, I think it's so affordable how you make these beads. So, but yet I do know that they are super labor intensive, and so I really want to get viewers a chance to see, you know, what goes all into it. We know that there's fire, we know that there's
Hmm.
glass, but there's a lot of chemistry, there's a lot of other things
Yes.
also that go with it.
So let's see if we can hang on to this connection,
Yes.
and I will head outside. This angle is challenging. So since we have it this way, I'm going to show you, if it's okay, where I've been working for the last 15 years,
Ooh,
and then I'll show you where I work now.
ooh,
It's not, yeah, it's not pretty.
so been doing it a long time.
Yes. Well, actually 16 years now and a half. So, okay. Can you see this? This is my old dungeon of a space.
Oh, look out.
It's about 6 feet by 12 feet. Yeah.
Pretty narrow.
It worked. Well, it had to.
15 years, huh?
It's also a bit, it's also a bit of an oven since it is Tucson. So I decided this year I do not want to be that hot anymore. And
Well, you know, right now it's 90, almost 100 degrees here today in Virginia.
oh, is it
Yeah.
really? It's only 92 here, so I'll
Oh
quit
my
complaining.
gosh, wow. And you guys got a bit more
So this is,
dry heat. We have a lot of that
yes,
sticky heat. You
yeah,
go out there and you're just stuck together. Ooh, look at that.
yes. So this is my new
What we
studio.
all wish we got
I
a
get the
chance to have.
whole,
Oh,
yes, it
special.
took me a long time, but yes. Okay. So this is not quite finished, but
Look
it
at
is
all that
definitely an
glass, you
improvement.
guys. So, you know, we talk about
Oh, that's
glass.
not it.
Look at that collection.
This is the American glass,
Okay.
my kiln, my torch and ventilation, coffee and water always.
Wow.
And this is the Italian glass.
So it looks like you like the
So I
Italian
have a
glass.
pretty, I use that the most regularly. You get the most consistent colors and details,
Okay, that's good to know.
if that makes sense. So real quick, I was just going to show, oh, what do you want to see first? I'll show you what I've got on hand.
Yeah,
right now.
that'd be great.
These are what I've been working on
Look at that.
the past couple of weeks.
Oh,
It's kind of cool. You can see these guys up here have not been tumbled yet. So everything starts out shiny, but this will be the finish.
afterward.
And then I've got a few that are not off the mandrel yet.
Wow. So they start off
So,
all shiny when they come off,
oops.
and then you
Yes,
do like a tumble to
if I
make that
want
matte
the
finish.
matte finish, they go in the tumbler for 2 to 3 hours, depending on how close I'm paying attention.
Wow, look.
And there's some more blingy guys. Most of these things are on Etsy. And I don't think I have any of these in what I sent you.
Yeah, those didn't look familiar. Next
So
round.
we start with, yes, got to keep something
That's
new all
right.
the time. These are all different size mandrels. This is what I make the bead on. And so you see the different sizes.
So is that the
Gives you
whole
different
size?
hole sizes.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. And what I have to do is, before I start, if I just melted glass on that stainless steel mandrel, it would weld to the mandrel and we'd have a pretty bead stuck on a mandrel.
So it would get stuck.
Uh-huh.
Good to know.
So what we do is, let's kind of set up. Where are we here? There we go. This is called Bead Release. It's basically clay and water. So that's what the white, sorry, at the end of the mandrels over
that's
here
what
is.
you're dipping the tip
So,
in.
yeah. So those ones are already dipped and dried. And you give me 1 second.
No problem.
I'll do a little
This
demo.
is super exciting. You guys, we get a nice live demo.
I tried to set it up ahead at the right angle so you can see most of what I'm
Great.
doing. And not very much of me.
I've been explaining it to people. It looks like you're just like painting with glass. I mean, it's so amazing how you pretty much get, I mean, it looks, each detail is hand done, so none of them are quite the same. So you've done a great job matching them up and keeping that consistency and like pumping that out.
Thank you. Lots of practice for sure.
Yes.
So the torches run off of propane and oxygen. I use a refurbished medical oxygen concentrator, and that's what gives the flame direction, so it's not all crazy.
Well, yeah, but that shows you just how much intensity is going into that really tight and narrow spot, you guys. So that way you get the precision, you're not melting, I guess, completely everything.
Yeah, exactly. And the torch runs at about 2,000 degrees, so it's warm. For the decorations,
hi, we've got Jonah here. We were supposed to do this in the shop.
The kids think it's cool. So all the decorations are really layers of glass, but the finer details are done with what's called stringer. So I'm going to just show you real quick how to pull a stringer.
And look at that ball. It's so hard to see color. I know that's one of the things.
Yes, I should say the reason I wear these glasses, it blocks out that orange that you guys see. So I can only see the flame, the blue flame, and the glass that's melting. I'm not distracted by that bushy orange stuff that's kind of hard to see through. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And look, she's got that needle and she's pulling that. So she's making a stringer, you guys.
Whoop. So that's just a real skinny piece of glass. And that's what I'll use to do some of the dots. So I earlier have all my stringer pulled.
Oh, okay.
For what I want to make
different
today.
Colors. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. So I'm going to show you another bead that is on Etsy that you don't have, that has a little bit of detail in it. And I'm going to try and get it so you can see how I use the molds to shape the bead.
Yeah, I thought the shapes
if I can
that
finagle
you use
that.
are amazing. Those are very cool.
So this bead is one of probably, I would say, my original desert inspired series. I don't know why I called it Earth, Wind, and Fire, but it seems to work. So I've been making this style and refining it for, I don't know, probably 12 years or so now.
Yeah, and now you can just whip them out. All right, so so this is the base of the bead you're making right now.
Yep. And I'm just gonna check, let me see if I can show you this. The molds are pretty specific. So I have to keep in mind the type of design I'm gonna add to it and how much space I need to leave so that it fills it out, but doesn't overfill it.
Oh, okay.
So, okay. Let's see if I can do this without burning myself. So that's the one I'm going to use. You probably can't see it very well.
We can see it great. You had it perfect. You were laying it in there.
It's okay, good. So that's pretty close. So I'm just going to go ahead and.
Okay, so you're trying to get an idea of whether you had enough glass on there so that it will fill that.
Yes.
Without seeping out.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh! So guesstimating even exactly how much glass you need on that piece.
Yeah. So that's where, just practice comes in. The more you do it, obviously, the better idea you have of how much room you have to work with.
Sure. So now you're have that stringer there and you're adding the detail. Okay.
Yep. Yes.
So doing those swirls, so all those lines and stuff, you guys, like she does each one by hand.
So there's the first round of dots. I'm going to melt those in.
So you're just heating it and it's just going to kind of start blending in there?
Yep.
Okay.
And you need to, there's some gravity at work here and things. So you have to spin it in a consistent speed. And you can use that to your advantage too if you make a little bit of a mistake.
I think of roasting duck, you see them in the windows and, constantly rotating. You want to get it even and, and perfect on all the sides. Oh, this is so neat, you guys.
I'm glad I have someone to help me talk in between. So I've got this stripes. That's kind of blurry, huh?
Yeah, it's
you can see a little bit there.
Well, it looks like I can see that the dots have melted, and look, Donna's a sheet.
And then I did 2 strips of brown on top of it.
Oh, okay.
I can't leave it out of the flame too long, or it will get stressed out and crack.
And this is great, Tennessa. We can hear you really well, by the way.
Good.
So
good.
Not to worry. We can hear everything you're saying. I actually can't hear the flame at all.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't really make too much noise. The ventilation is the noisiest, but I think the headphones probably help so you don't have to hear that.
Yeah, so she's making a glass bead, Jonah. So she's adding
So
detail.
one of my favorite things about this job is that I have two boys. They are 16 and 18
Yeah.
now, and they still think that I have the cool job in the house.
You do. You do.
I do.
I think people think I have the cool job at the bead shop. Get to play with beads
You
all day.
you do. So I did a little bit of a like a ladder kind of
Oh my
design, I
gosh,
guess.
look at that.
Can you see that a little bit?
So she drew.
Now the colors look a lot darker right now. When they come out of the kiln, when they're cooled off, they'll look a little bit
Mhm.
different than what they do right after they get melted.
So you drew those lines, drew each one of those dots, making that pattern. Okay, so you've done a
Yep.
dotted and then 2 lines. You've also done a ladder pattern on the other side.
Now I'm gonna press it, and I cannot think of a way to safely show you
Oh
that.
no,
So I'll show you when it's
we
done.
get the idea. That was a great preview. So
Okay, good. And I usually double press because it just doesn't usually come out right the first
okay,
time.
so you can see her dabbing those
Um,
corners to kind of, I think, round those corners a little bit.
yep. And then I'm just gonna kind of clean up a tiny bit.
Oh, look, that is so cool.
So almost done. I have one more little step I'm gonna do on
Wow,
there
look at that.
for this series.
Oh my gosh, so it's each and every bead at a time.
For this, yeah, for this particular design especially.
But are there some of your beads you can do more than one at a time then?
Yeah, a little bit. But mostly, yeah,
I
one
was
at a
gonna say
time.
that looks like it's really one at a time. Because like you say, you're getting the perfect temperature, it can't be out of the fire for very long.
Yes. And to keep the designs distinct, you have to, for the most part, just do one layer at a time.
Well, at least
Oop,
you could make some alphabet letters, right? So then you can put people's names in there. You can maybe put different symbols.
I have not figured out a letter thing that I
Like,
like.
that's fair.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard. You're getting things,
I'm
it's
sure some,
melting while you're trying to attach
yes,
it. So it's constantly, moving. It's fluid. It's
exactly. So the finishing touch on this, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm leaving it just a little bit
yeah,
raised. So there'll be some
I see that.
texture. So it's kind of
That now that's the
3D.
same color as the bead you originally made, right? So I know.
It's called silvered ivory. So the ivory ahead of time, let me see if I can find a piece here. Well, I can show you after. I have silver foil that comes in pack. So it's fine silver. It just looks like tissue paper. And I get the ivory warm, wrap a piece of silver around it, burnish it in, and then pull that out into stringer. So it's got a little bit of like silvery gray
Ooh.
flecks in it. It's just hard to
Oh,
see on
absolutely. And then
on
and then
the
you have to let
camera.
it cool for a while.
Yes. So now, because let me show you this. Because the torch is 2000 degrees, if I just take it out and let it sit, it's going to break. Just like taking a hot glass from the dishwasher and putting it in cold water. So the beads go in the kiln. You can see I made a few before you guys got here. The kiln holds the temperature at about 950 while I'm working. And then when I'm all done for the day, there's a little computer program over there that I type in the code for, and it cools everything off about 100 degrees per hour.
Okay.
So it takes about 8 hours for them to get down to room temperature. So in the old days, like before there were computers, you had to come out every hour and ramp your kiln down 100 degrees.
Wow, even more labor intensive.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So, oh, I know what. I want to show you a couple other things that we can use. Um, I'm not a very good videographer yet, guys. Sorry.
No, this is great. You're giving us so much
So,
insight into your world.
so
Okay.
that's the silver foil. I use a ton of this.
I love,
I really
hey,
like
we love
silver.
all that glitters.
And these are all the molds. So every bead starts out round, but We've got, you can kind of see this is the one I was using, the nugget. So it's a
Yeah.
square, but it's 3D. This particular brand is nice because the pins help you line it up just right. But then there's some like this that are a little bit more free form, so you can play with, and they go all the way up to this ginormous one. You guys have some of these focals, the big
Yeah.
winkles.
Well,
This is my
I was thinking,
favorite right now.
the shapes are just so cool. The ones that you've made, I really like this kind of almond shape or this kind of eye kind of.
Oh yes,
That's one of my favorite.
the Zulu. That's one of my favorites. And I will say, it is one of the most challenging to work with. You have to be very precise, and it kind of is hard to design with because it messes up the designs pretty quickly.
So
So
less is more probably on those designs.
yes, and more, let me turn around here, more organic designs. So I am a little proud of myself for being so successful with that one. It's one of my favorites.
Then I'm glad that that's the one that I was picking. I found that the samples I was making
Yeah,
at the store, I tended to pick that one up a lot. So, and I think we actually sold quite
yeah,
a few of those. So you'll
yeah.
need to get to making some more anyway.
I'm working on it. As you see, I'm getting there. It doesn't look like much, but
Oh no, that's great.
one plate at a time.
Oh, that was a
So,
great tour.
trying to think if there's anything else. There's lots more, but that gives a pretty good,
Well, I mean, you've had so
overview
many
of.
years.
I actually make the
Yeah.
beads.
No, I mean, you make each and every one. I know that there are some
Yes.
producers, most lamp workers are
Yeah.
very much like yourself, but most of them can't produce nearly the quantity that you do,
Yeah.
which is, gives us the privilege to be able to have them in our store. So we are really excited that you are able to, pump out so many. So each and every
Crank
one
it
has a
out.
little piece of, little Tennessa McLean heart in there.
Yes.
You can
Exactly.
really feel it in her beads. So make sure you come check it out in the shop if you get
Thank
a chance.
you.
Because we only have your beads for until this weekend.
I
And
know.
then they've got to move
Yes.
on around the country. I know that they've taken their
Yep.
tour, so got to get your dibs on these colors right now.
Yeah, I think they're heading out like a week later. So
Yes, yeah. So we really
yeah.
appreciate you joining us here today, Tennessa, showing us your magic room,
Oh,
and we have been buying up a lot of your beads. So we actually had some. We're part of that bead shop hop, so I've been doing a little bit of added
uh-huh.
boost for you. With this bead shop hop, we actually had a bead store owner come down, and she'll probably be giving you a call. And she
Oh,
also bought
awesome.
a bunch of your beads. So
Thank you so
yeah,
much.
yeah. So thank you again for joining us, and we hope to have you again next year sometime. And
Yes,
you guys,
I would love to.
Tennessa McLean, she is on Etsy, you said.
Hmm.
Pictures oftentimes don't do it justice. So, it's also, you get a couple more days to get the opportunity to come see them here at
Yeah.
Stars Beads. And otherwise, you can contact her. You can see that she is on Facebook as well. So you can hit her up that way and connect with her.
Thank you very much, everybody. I got to get back to
Yeah,
work.
I know. We sold a lot of beads. You got a lot to replace there.
Yep.
All right. Thanks so much, Tennessa.
Thank you,
Bye.
Kate. Bye.
Bye.